They'll see in 3 minutes. All right, what's going on, Overwatch pretenders? How are you guys doing today? So today we are running solo caster. So and this is my first time casting. So please give me a bit of a break here. Today we're looking at a matchup between Mercury Cougars and Toxic Storm. So looks like first map is gonna be Numbani. Yeah, Mercury Cougars had first pick for that. The Toxic Storm, I'm pretty sure the last couple of weeks they have won their matches, so it's going to be really important to see how they do. I know a lot of people at the beginning of the season were necessarily we're like sleeping on them, especially if you watch the podcast with Four Bears. They Four Bears didn't really give them much credit, and I think they kind of proved to a few people wrong with their last few matches. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. All right, so let's see. So yeah, we're just waiting for everyone to be ready up, and then we're going to be hopping in to Numbani. All right. Is Guff going to save me? Okay, so it looks like I may not be going entirely solo. Guff may be joining shortly. Yeah. So let's see what happens here. Looks like I might not be hung dry, which will be a good thing because this is my first time casting. All right, so looks like we're hopping into Numbani. Oh, actually, just kidding. Looks like they're still waiting for one more person to change their icon over to NYXL. Excuse me. All right, so it looks like we'll be getting into the map now.
Traveling to Numbani. Initiating match.
All right, so we're hopping into the match now. Now, Numbani is traditionally a dive map. However, some teams do like to run sort of bunkers on either high ground, so it'll be interesting to see what the teams pull out here. Although expect to see some form of dive. Now, as I say that, it looks like let's see, what are the teams actually? I need to. Okay.
Ready for battle.
Okay, so it does look like Toxic Storm might be running with some form of a bunker, right? As I said, they wouldn't be running it, and we do have the rare Torbjorn pick out. Now, after that rework,
Attackers
he actually
incoming in
does a
30
crazy amount of
seconds.
damage. It'll be interesting to see what he can do against this, what it looks like dive coming out from Mercury Cougars. It'll be interesting to see Wombo combo over on that Widowmaker. I think a lot of people know he is a very capable Widowmaker, and he can easily turn the tide of the fight in their
Five,
favor.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's
Attackers
see the teams on
incoming.
attack.
Defend objective A.
Alright, getting some early ult charge for Great One over on Toxic Storm. We see Mercury Cougars scouting it out. They're jumping up. Toxic Storm drops off the high ground. They kill the turret. We do have some big heals coming in for Mercury Cougars, keeping that Winston alive. Oh, and Wombo combo with the big pick off on the Moira. It's a lot of healing down for Toxic Storm. They jump right in. There goes the Torbjorn, the Roadhog, and it looks like Mercury Cougars should clean up this fight pretty easily. And because that fight happened pretty quickly and there was pretty much back and forth, it looks like both teams will be coming up on ultimates, although Mercury Cougars does have the advantage with that sound barrier, and they're approaching pretty much all their ults. But on the other side, you have Toxic Storm with that EMP. The EMP can be huge because ults don't matter if you can't use them.
Get into position.
So we're going to see if that Sombra gets a good EMP off here. It looks like she is detected because of the walls from Wombo. However, she does have her EMP up. It'll be interesting if she can look to save it to try to counter the sound barrier from Forebears or go early and win the fight. Wombo with the early pick off. Here comes the EMP. Oh, the counter EMP from Spidey. It looks like Mercury Cougars is going to win this fight. And they roll right through him. Now, the only ultimates used for Mercury Cougars during that entire engage were EMP. So they have 3, almost 5 ultimates up in their ult bank now. Versus, it looks like almost 3 ultimates coming up from Toxic Storm. It'll be interesting to see how this fight goes.
Looking for me?
Wombo fighting the Sombra. The walls do come up from the Widow, which will pretty much shut down that Sombra being able to sneak around. They do cap second here. Two Sombras fighting above. And it looks like Great One does win that Sombra 1v1, however, Mercury Cougars is there with the follow-up. So you see Toxic Storm nanoing the Rhine here, pushing in. Watch out for that shatter. Big shatter onto the other team. Kills the Winston before the sound barrier can hit him. And it is just easy cleanup for Toxic Storm. So usually on this last point, you see teams like to run a Rhine Zarya, which is what Toxic Storm switched over to. So it'll be interesting to see if Mercury Cougars follow suit and switches to a Rhine Zarya. However, it looks like they will just be switching off the Widow to McCree. So this next fight, you have both Sombras coming up on their EMPs and Zarya coming up on her Graviton. There are no support ults besides the Nano Boost. They don't have Lucio be on the side of Mercury Cougars. So this Graviton surge can be big.
Payload's on its way.
You could also see Mercury Cougars pull out the Sombra EMP Diva Bomb combo, which is very popular. Bubble comes in. Big EMP from Great One. The grab goes in. And it looks like Mercury Cougars is getting rolled over on this fight. So they did not use any ults. They are almost to they're building up their McCree ult, the High Noon, and it looks like they're gonna stay on the Diva Winston, probably for that EMP bomb combo. So look for that to come in on this fight. On the other side, we do have Dungy with the Earth Shatter here. Now, because the Winston bubble's only form barrier they have, they look for a big Earth Shatter coming out from him. Wombo with the early pick off onto the Sombra. And a big Earth Shatter comes through, pins the Ana, and it looks like it'll be easy clean for Toxic Storm. Oh, but here comes the EMP, High Noon, and Diva Bomb. You have Punji in the back trying to hammer his way through, but he gets picked off. Wombo comes huge with the 4K. That seemed like a lost fight for Mercury Cougars, but they turned that back with that EMP High Noon combo. Now they're going to be rolling into last, and looks like Nano Blade will come out. We can see how huge this gets. He gets a kill on Wombo. It's a kill on Forebears, and it looks like Toxic Storm cleans up this fight, and they come back with that huge Nano Blade combo. Okay, now you will see Mercury Cougars make that switch over to the Ryan Brigida combo. It'll be interesting. Yeah, they do get the Zarya. So they are running only Ana Brigida for heals. Now, a lot of teams like to favor that. However, there can be a lack of healing with that comp, and they are matching what Toxic Storm is running. Now you do have Great One over on the side of Toxic Storm with an EMP, and it'll be interesting to if they combo it with the Shatter right here. And it looks like they do a big Earth Shatter coming in. And the easy cleanup onto the enemy team. Punji going huge with that Earth Shatter.
Translocating.
Locking up. Twice the payload stop.
Now we aren't going to see any swaps, however you got to look for that Wombo combo. But between Wombo combo and K-Boogie, that Zarya Dragon can melt the other team, and there are no support ults on either side of the team. So these grabs are going to be huge. You look for Spidey, he almost has ZMP. Some big damage going on to Bungie right now. He really needs to back up. The stun comes in. Cryptic charges in. Great One gets a pick off on Wombo combo. Forebears is low. Cryptic is in all the way. Cryptic gets killed. Big EMP coming in from Spidey. Nano onto Spidey. We'll see what they do with it. Nano into Pudgy now. He is close to his Earth Shatter. He might shatter here. However, look for him to save it since they already cleaned up the fight.
60 seconds.
Lampridge with the late kill onto Chase. And Pudgy with the late kill onto Spidey.
That's the best you can do.
Great usage of ultimates and backing up there from Mercury Cougars. They focused down the Reinhardt when he charged in, were able to turn that fight. Or I apologize, from Toxic Storm. So you do see Lamproj come out with the early Brigida ult to give his team armor. That on the Zarya is huge because they have to burst through 200 health before they even touch that armor. Now from this fight, look for the EMP coming in. Oh, the early pickoff onto Spidey. This is last fight, so here comes the EMP and the Earth Shatter and the grab. Just everything being thrown in by Toxic Storm. And they get the kills. Great One chasing down Wombo on Hanzo. And I don't know if it looks like Spidey might be able to touch here. However, they will just be trickling in to keep this point. They do have big combo between K-Boogie and Zarya, or K-Boogie and Wombo coming up. Although it looks like they're gonna Dragon the point early. Looks like Mercury Cougars is pushing up. Oh, the big Earth Shatter comes in from Cryptic. However, the High Noon. Oh, the big High Noon come from 80. Great usage of his ult to zone off the Earth Shatter and get a bunch of kills. And it looks like Toxic Storm will be holding on last.
I'm unstoppable.
Score.
Now, one thing you saw from Toxic Storm there was a great cycling of ults. It seemed like every single fight they went into, they had a big combo, whether it be EMP Shatter, whether it be Grav, whether it be Nano onto the Reinhardt. They just had combo after combo. So it'll be interesting to see if they can keep that up, how it will do. And also, it seemed like they didn't really prefer running the dive. So it'll be interesting to see if they do run the dive on offense, since that is a much better comp on Numbani first. So it does look like they will be coming out with the dive. However, it could change.
Ready for battle.
And we'll have to see what comes out on the defense over from Mercury Cougars. It looks like they will be running dive, however, with the Brigida Ana heals. That can be very useful for shutting down an opposition's dive, as Brigida stun and area heal while she deals damage. Can be huge, along with the armor she provides for her team. An Ana with an armor pack is very, very, very hard to kill.
Check this out.
I think the biggest X factor here would be Wombo combo over on that Widow, as he can hit some pretty big shots.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
See both teams running a traditional dive setup, although you do see the Brigida over on Mercury Cougars, so it'll be interesting to see how she plays around the team. She plays more up or back protecting the Ana. Great One's going to come out here and spot out the enemy team. And Wombo with a huge pick off onto Punji already. And Wombo with another big shot onto the enemy Ana. And it looks like Mercury Cougars will just clean up this fight off of the back of Wombo Combo's amazing Widow play. Now, because that fight ended so fast, neither team could really build up ultimates, besides Wombo, who is very close to his sights. Now, many people think of sights as not a super... Oh, looks like Great One might be killed in the background right now. They're chasing him, and he does get killed. That is a huge stagger for Toxic Storm. For Mercury Cougars, it looks like Toxic Storm will have to wait another 10 to 15 seconds before they can push in. Now, Wombo Combo does almost have sights here, and it is a really good ultimate when the other team is running a Sombra because she loses a lot of her value in being able to sneak behind the team. So I'm interested if he decides to use it early here. Winston does dive up, and IT gets a good kill into 4 bears early. Fight going on point. Spidey kill on Punji. Neon kills Chase. This is a very back and forth fight. It'll be interesting to see which team pulls this out. Raiden the kill on Spidey. It looks like the fight is going in the favor of Toxic Storm here. They do get the D-Mech onto the D.Va, get their own D.Va mech back, and it looks like Toxic Storm holds on to this, and they are going to push through. Now, Mercury Cougars are approaching their nano. Oh, it looks like there is a contest onto the point right now. It is Wombo Combo on the Tracer and Spidey on the Hanzo. The Cryptic Winston ults, and they're pushing him back. Wombo Combo killing Punji, however, Raiden kills Spidey. Cryptic with a great kill onto Sombra. Cryptic is chasing down the Ana support. And it looks like Mercury Cougars has pulled this back. The last second contest. And a great usage of ultimates. Now they are going to stagger this. Oh, that's just sad to see, the stagger onto the D.Va. Oh no, the teabag from Wombo. Poor baby D.Va. I know how she feels. That is a huge stagger. It's a little set him back. About 10 to 15 seconds. However, they decide to push in anyway. AT pushes in. Raiden ults. Looks like Chaz gets picked off by the dragons. Looks like Spidey ult but gets knocked off the map by Winston ult. And it seems that Toxic Storm might be winning this fight after... Oh wait, never mind. It looks like 4 bears with a big kill on Punji makes it so Mercury Cougars actually wins the fight. You're seeing a lot of great focus coming in from Mercury Cougars, whereas Toxic Storm seems very split around the point. And that decision to push in last time when they were down a man was very questionable, to say the least. See, Wombo on the Tracer does get hacked. Watch out for that. He does get a kill on Punji before he goes. A big D.Va bomb coming in. Gets nothing. You have AT on the point capping. Great One. Cryptic in the back killing Lamp-Rouge, and Chaz killing Great One. Cryptic getting the kill onto Raiden. And it looks like Mercury Cougars is gonna full hold this on Numbani. Good job to Mercury Cougars.
Play of the game.
Mercury Cougars did a great job backing up and regrouping when they lost a few members, and they were able to recontest.
Triple kill.
That was a big high noon coming in from AT.
Ayo! I'm gonna be your
Hey there.
co-caster for today due to us
you
not
for
having a
saving
second
me.
co-caster.
Yeah, thanks for saving me there.
Love you, my dude. So, if you haven't noticed, the amazing strategies coming from Mercury Cougars is just insane of how their plays. They coordinated well as a team, while Toxic Storm just couldn't handle that. They were not organized in a certain way and couldn't combo their ults in just in a fashion for How would you like? What were you thinking from how they were acting or like playing so far?
I personally thought there's just a big difference in the ult rotation. I felt like Mercury Cougars on that defense, they were just kind of rotating their ults and they were doing a good job of just kind of stopping Toxic Storm from getting any sort of like good attack in. You saw Wombo Combo get a few early pickoffs, and that was kind of like turning the tide of the fight pretty early without Toxic Storm getting really a good chance to have a full attack.
That is true. I feel like with ults from Forebears and Spidey, it was well done by every single person in my opinion. The McCree ults, Spidey using his dragons to spread off the team so that we can get certain kills, like separate Hanzos. It was just well done by Mercury Krugers. Toxic Storm, I do think that they can push on from this. They were doing well. They were understanding from the first push that they could from their first defense that they could hold it down after third point. They were understanding a lot of things, and that's just they did well. But sadly, Mercury Cougars defeated them with a full hold.
Yeah, Toxic Storm did do very good on their defense, though. I was saying on that last point, they were rotating their ults very well. They had a EMP Shatter combo. The next fight, they had a High Noon Grab combo. Then seemingly they had another Nano onto their Reinhardt to like swing into the other team. It seemed like they were cycling their ults and using them very well. However, it seemed like that kind of fell apart on the attack a little bit.
It did seem that way. I feel like they were just like they had so much on their mind, probably just from how they were diving. They did seem to have a Lucio scout instead of a diva, which does seem weird in my opinion, or any other DPS scouting. Instead, they had their Lucio scouting from above. That was just a weird thing I noticed from them. But hey, maybe that's just how they've been how they've been practicing. You never know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see because they did favor a sort of bunker comp on defense, and it seemed like their Ryan Zarya was their strongest, and they were shying away from that dive. So it'll be interesting to see if they do get burned on their dive, or if that was just a bad map for them. It'll be interesting to see how their dive does.
And now we're heading to Oasis, where Toxic Storm will be having a Reaper, Zarya, Pharah, Reinhardt, Moira, and Brigitte, which seems to be weird with having a Pharah at their side. And then Mercury Cougars will also be having a Pharah, Winston, and Diva. Maybe they'll be messing around. I'm not sure, but we'll see that soon.
Yeah, we'll have to see until when the doors open. Most teams on King of the Hill like to mess around with their comp before they actually roll out.
So what we're seeing from Mercury Cougars is that they're using two main supports, which is actually pretty decent if they don't trust in their like ability to have an off support to like be focusing on the tanks. So I do think that this is great for a Pharmercy type of thing. But with Toxic Storm, I'm really questioning about having a Moira instead of a Mercy, like pocketing their Pharah. But we'll see from this
Yeah,
though.
a big thing is that you do see the Mercy pocket over on the side of Mercury Cougars, which can enable their Pharah a lot more. Whereas on the side of Toxic Storm, she has to play a lot safer. Alright, so you do see both teams. You do see Mercury Cougars rotating over to jump pad and Toxic Storm sitting on point. You actually see the Pharah 1v1 and how Rice can handle this going against Chesh, who does have a pocket Mercy.
We see once they're diving onto the Pharah now, trying to get her in. You suddenly see a Zarya bubble coming in, which is really good on Zeon's Zarya. Already getting
Spidey with an early pick off onto Lamp Rouge.
Oh, nice charge onto Spidey.
However, it looks like Mercury Cougars is pulling this fight back despite their early pick off from Toxic Storm. Or sorry, the other way around. It looks like Toxic Storm is pulling this back. Raiden with the late kill onto Chaz. However, K Boogie answers back with two of his own. There's still a brawl going in on point.
Even with having a Reaper to counter this Winston, they're not able to really get that dive cancelled out. But good job for their Widows on Mercury Cougars, because now they're able to just focus that Brigitte and also move. They just switched from McCree, to McCree from Pharah from Toxic Storm's side. So we're gonna see some good hit scan action coming in to take out this Pharmacy.
It'll be interesting to see if he focuses on the Mercy or the Pharah, because if you don't land the shots on the Pharah, she can just get healed out of your damage. Or, oh! Toxic Storm almost with the cap.
Already a huge nano coming in from Mercury Cougars. Two ults used from Mercury Cougars just right now. Pharrell and Nano. Seems to be already
Chesh-
resetting from Toxic Shock's side.
This
They're
is
still. Oh, sorry.
That was good. Traditionally, this is a dive map, so it's interesting to see what I had said earlier with Toxic Storm if their dive wasn't their strong suit, because they are running the Ryan Zarya comp here, which can be a little tough to challenge this high ground all around the point.
I will say though, for them having a Moira this entire time, I don't think that's gonna be like the same amount of healing that they do deserve. Because as soon as she's out of healing, all of this is just their entire push and initiation is just crumbled to the ground.
And you gotta watch out for the big anti-nade. It's a Diva Bomb coming through here. Gets a pick off onto Lamp Rouge over on the Moira, so they are down major heals. However, it looks like they are pulling the fight through with 2 early kills, but Spidey answers back with a kill of his own.
Mercy with canceled res
Mercy
coming in
res
from
canceled.
Mercy.
Toxic Storm does cap midway through the fight. It looks like Chaz is going into Battle Mercy mode, gets a kill onto the Reinhardt, and is still fighting. However, look for him to die here. Oh, he does escape to the safety of his Diva.
Nice kill on the Reaper coming in from Mercury Cougars. Winston diving in also with Diva. Chesh is most likely going to kill the Zarya to gain back the point.
They are going to keep trickling onto point because they do have control and they're getting more percentage. And they did force out an ult from Chesh when he necessarily did not need it, as they were just trickling.
Toxic Shock will have most of their ults coming into next fight with Reaper, Zarya, McCree, and Ryan. Moira will most likely use her ult in need of Crisis, mainly from, any other ult. But,
Raiden falls off the map. That'll be interesting to see what happened there. It looks like they may not have been paying attention and just accidentally walked off.
Feeling powerful, and I'm not even angry.
Rice gets picked off early. Chesh with some major damage coming down from the far. With that McCree dead, there will be no challenge to her. And it looks like Mercury Cougars will pull this fight through. I'm interested to see what happened to Raiden there. Not really sure what occurred. Must have maybe was not looking at his screen and was just talking and accidentally walked off the edge.
Ready for battle.
So coming in from Toxic Shock, they're going to now be having a Hanzo instead of a Reaper this side. They're going to continue their same comp with having their same supports. And then coming with Mercury Cougars, they're going to be switching it up a bit. Just mostly for their DPS. They're going to have, instead of a Mercy, they're going to have a Lucio Ana here. Going
This
for
is
a
a very-
basic support.
Yeah, this is a very common Ryan Zarya comp for this map, and you do look for the combo between K-Boogie and Spidey. And on the other side, you do have Toxic Storm coming through with a similar comp. AT with the early pickoff onto Chaz. They're down major heals on side Mercury Cougars, and they smash into him, taking advantage of this 5v6 opportunity.
It seems to be that Toxic Shock seems to be having the point so far, even with the loss of Rice.
If we are to progress, we must claim the objective.
And they do proceed to get the point.
I apologize, is it Toxic Storm or Toxic Shock?
Oh. Ooh, Storm, I'm bad. I'm sorry.
You're good, I just want to make sure. Alright, you do see the early pickoff from K-Boogie coming here. And Spidey pushes through. Xenon does answer back with his own kill. However, it looks like Mercury Cougars will roll this point and cap it. It's just the Moira alive, and she will back up for the reset.
I keep thinking of their old names, so excuse me for my mispronunciation of the new name for Toxic Storm and not Toxic Shock.
So both Zaryas are pretty far from their ultimates. However, Cryptic does have a Thirst Shatter, matched by Pudgy here. Moira
our-
ults early to get her team in.
Hanzo brought in by a Toxic Storm, killing one person from Mercury Cougars. Mercury Cougars, the Ryan uses Shatter now. Using so many ults. Oh gosh. And this is a one fight by Mercury Cougars, with having used 3 ults in this fight.
They did now. Mercury Cougars did use their dragons there, which is questionable considering the fact they are very close to that Zarya ult. So it'll be interesting to see where the damage comes from into that Zarya ult. Possibly the Dragon Blade coming out from Chesh. IT does go in on the Hondo. It'll be interesting if he gets this early pick off. Spidey does kill IT, and it looks like Mercury Cougars is winning this fight outright with only the Brigida ult used. Now, because they did win that fight with no other ults used, they actually do have their dragon combo up for the Zarya grab. On the and because Toxstorm has no support, else it's a huge combo. Here comes the Zarya.
Two ults used by Mercury Cougars, both their dragon ults. Also with the stall from I guess
IT
Chest
does
and
get a
King.
kill on Test. It'll be interesting to see if they do swap over to Sombra to see if they can touch the point. Although it looks like they may just be trying to run forward and touch. Spidey with the early kill on Tunji, and it doesn't look like they'll be able to touch, and Mercury Cougars wins the map 2-0.
That was a really strange game in my opinion from seeing from both Toxic Storm and Mercury Cougars.
Yeah, that was very interesting. You saw two ults used here, which was very interesting. Both dragon ults. When normally a team would try to save one of those in case of another contest, but they were banking on the fact that Toxstorm would not be able to touch.
Now Mercury Cougars 2-0 currently in this match. Oof. Gonna be a huge toughie from these guys, I may say so myself.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Toxic Storm picks, as the next map pick is between Horizon Lunar Colony and Volsky, and a lot of people really don't like Horizon Lunar Colony, myself included. I don't know how you feel about that one, but it'll be interesting because some teams practice Horizon Lunar Colony because they know that if they ever get that map pick, they will have an advantage on it.
Just from a person who has played Horizon to an extent, having the option between Volskaya and Horizon, I would definitely pick Horizon more than anything now. But I understand if Horizon is picked; they just both seem pretty cancerous type of maps. 2CP
Yeah,
is a
that
huge struggle here for Pretenders League.
yeah, 2CP in of its nature is a struggle as a whole. I know I had a comp match earlier today where the enemy team stalled for 3 minutes. That was quite an awful experience. However, some teams do favor that because they know other teams don't like it. I know my team, specifically Nova, our Volskaya is very strong, and we know that if the map goes there, we have a very good chance at winning it.
I would say between the two, Volskaya would be the more interesting map because you see so much like diversity in comps there between Horizon, where Horizon mostly you do see dive Sombra Doomfist just to counter goats most of the time, while in Volskaya, most people don't really like to play goats for some reason. It's weird and kind of confusing to me as a person who plays this game in higher levels, but I think it's just I like the diversity I get to see from Volskaya more than Horizon.
Yeah, you do not. That's interesting. You don't see a lot of goats coming out in this league, do you? I think that might have to do with the fact that because it is mainly for improvement and a lot of teams are looking to improve on certain heroes, then there's not really an incentive to just go goats forehead and just roll the other team. I think there's more of an incentive to play the heroes you want to learn and get good at. I know that's the case with my team, at least, is that we know that if we run goats, it will be a lot easier, but we want to improve as a team and improve like overall. So I think that's at least my opinion on why goats might not be as popular in this league. But I don't know what you think.
For my opinion, I just genuinely don't see a lot of goats coming in from any league so far. It is an easier thing, but in most leagues that I find, they want to genuinely improve. They don't just want to, oh, goats it out. Because if you're just gonna be doing that, it's gonna be irritating. It's just not fun after a while. Obviously, we want to have this game fun. We want to make it fun. So I don't know. It's just a weird thing in my opinion.
Yeah, I think also with the compared to comp where if a team runs goats, it's pretty easy because goats doesn't require that much coordination. It's interesting to that if a team who is coordinated, it's easier to counter goats, such as with like a May pick or even some sort of high ground control.
Mhm.
Like Hanzo can be really good who just sits on high ground because he can spam the barriers and deal a lot of damage, and they don't have much to contest him. Besides maybe a diva, but she can get bursted down pretty quick if she goes out of position.
That is true. But in my opinion, I do think you would rather have more of a like Farah, maybe somewhat Junkrat, and also a May Pig instead, and even a Sombra Doom because the Sombra can initiate on this. You can hack them. It's just, I would say it matters to the people who you are playing with to make a goats comp diminish easily. But I enjoy from this league where I see a lot of more different situations or different ways to counter goats. I mostly
Yeah,
like the ones when we have maze. Oof, they're pretty good if I say so myself.
yeah, I love the Mapex. Just being able to wall because they'll try to speed boost it and you just wall off a Rhine and then just kill him. It's
Yep,
pretty fun. But yeah, I know like Sombra and Doomfist right now are very strong, and I
very.
think we actually have not seen any Doomfist from either team yet, have we?
Uh, I think not so far.
That's interesting. Doomfist is a very popular pick right now, and a lot of the teams do have really good Doomfist players. So it'll be interesting to see if maybe they sub a Doomfist player in, or if they have someone play Doomfist, such as I think Wombo might play Doomfist, but he is subbed out right now. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that.
From so far, have we gotten our map that we will be picking?
No, they have not.
Just so people know,
One second.
in the good chat we call Twitch chat, we are currently in halftime, which is 10 minutes long. If you do not know.
Think when did the timer for halftime start? That's the real question.
Okay, we have
Uh,
5 more minutes left.
I will be right back. And then we'll see what the map pick is between. It looks like Talkstorm will be picking between Horizon and Volskaya. So we'll see that once I am back. All right, I am back. Are we in a break right now, or are we still live?
We are still live, my good sir.
Okay. Sorry about that. I had to go let my cat in.
Oof. I have a question. Are you more of a cat person or a dog person?
I am a cat person.
Oof, yes, cats. If
or
no,
love cats.
everyone who doesn't like cats are invalid in the Pretenders Discord. Just kidding now.
Don't be toxic towards the cat haters.
Cats are pretty good. Don't call him Toxic Storm from nothing.
They pick a map or are they still?
We are still in break. We have 2 minutes left. I'm really wanting to see if Storm, not Shock, Storm, can bring this back to at least 2-2. If not, then take at least one map. I do believe in them. I am cheering for them. I'm just wanting to see what happens.
I think it would be. The maps have been slightly closer than I think it appears. I just think that Mercury Cougars overall has had a little bit better execution of their plans and better ult management overall. I think if Toxic Storm can be a little bit more coordinated and manage their ults a little better, I think they do have a chance at reverse sweeping this and pulling it back.
I do think that just Toxic Storm is having a little bit problems. I do think that Toxic Storm just needs a little bit more communication on their side. I feel like they're going into fights a little bit too fast. They may not be having everyone prepared yet. Just may not be thinking of like the small stuff, but I feel like in later matches or even after today and scrims, they will get a hang of this. From Mercury Cougars, I think they have this on lock. Most of them, from what I know, were here from last season, so I know they have the good teamwork in their hands. So
I am new to the league, so how Toxic Storm over on their side, how many of them are returning players and how many of them are new? Do you have any idea?
I am actually not sure. I think I remember Pudgy. I don't know how to say his name correctly.
I was
Pudgy.
calling him Dungy.
Dungy. Oof.
He's doing a silent P.
Dungy. I'm hoping that's it. But I know they were on the team last season, if I'm correct. How do you say Pudgy? Pudgy? Having some Pidgey.
P Dungy? What is
Pidgey.
P Dungy? Hold on. I have never seen the spelling. That does not make any sense. I'm gonna be honest.
I know, from me, it's
Traveling to
weird.
Volskaya Industries.
Let me get the high chats, you know what I'm saying?
Match.
What's up, boys?
Oh, hello.
Hello there.
3 casters in here now?
Yeah.
Oh, are you casting? All right, I'll see you guys later.
No,
he's-
no, wait,
okay.
no, come back, Goof.
Guff. I don't think he wants to cast, so you can cast it. if you want.
No, it's a joke, But,
I just tuned in earlier and I heard chat talk.
oh, your mic went dead.
You lagged out for a second there, Guff.
Well,
Uh,
to go into it, we are now on
Oh.
Volskaya and Assembling Heroes for both Toxic Storm and Mercury Cougars.
so
Ready
is
for
Guff
battle.
going to be subbing in for the script for the caster team? That's the real question.
If
What?
their mic is
The
if their
script?
mic is working, yes.
Are you going on a script today?
Attackers
I
incoming
don't know,
in
dude.
30
Just
seconds.
roll with it.
I play pretty loose cannon, so.
We don't know what we're doing, dude. This is my first time casting.
Like we both did it in different ways. We don't know what we're doing either.
So yeah, I can actually invite you to the
Yeah.
lobby.
Oh, let me.
If you
Let me
want
add
to
you real
add
quick.
me, I post yeah.
4, 3,
Or
But for
Dante,
now,
I've got you.
have okay, yeah. Me and Dante on the cast team right now.
defend objective
And
A.
it looks like we were talking about goats earlier, and it looks like Mercury Cougars is running an offensive goats here. And you do see a Reaper out on the side of Toxic Storm. Chesh with the early pickoff onto Rice, and it looks like this goats comp is just gonna smash into them and roll Toxic Storm over. However, Pudgy does come back with with a kill of his own and a big ante going in to Mercury Cougars.
You may seem
It
as
is
if
a 3v3 on point right now.
Lights out.
Hunji is asleep. However, it seems that on the back of Great One, Toxic Storm might be pulling this back. Great One does get his ult off, and somehow Toxic Storm overcomes the 4v6 and does win the fight.
Group up with me.
Boy, I asked you for an invite, but I'll get it from chat. It's okay.
Now we will
Yeah,
have Guff
baby, let's
stepping
go.
in as another caster here.
All right.
So, Guff, if you want to do play-by-play.
Fantastic. Sounds good to me. Let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. I am ready. What do we got here? What colors who? Who colors what?
Red team is Mercury Cougars. Blue team is
Mercury
Toxic
Cougars, all right. Already losing 2 men into this first fight. Good old P. Dungy on that Reinhardt making big plays here, knocking out both of the support line. Rice coming in, getting that cleanup on Chesh. It's going to be all they need to hold that point.
Cryptic
be
did come
easy.
out with an early Earth Shatter there. However, Toxic Storm was able to support the players that got knocked down and turn that fight around in their favor. You do see K Boogie approaching his Zariel, however there is no dragon to combo into it on the side of Chesh, so we can see if he builds that up quickly or if they just swing into the grab.
There you go. Team trying to figure out their push right here, looks like. There we go. Popping that rally up, moving into the first point right here. Mercury Cougars getting that awesome first pick. Chesh getting that out, also getting that grab out. Looks like they're going to pop an early trans here to try to keep any damage out of that grab. Fortunately, not going to be enough. Chesh already getting big picks. Ooh! We're seeing Toxic Shock with their own grab. Unfortunately, not big enough. Picks keep coming in from Mercury Cougars, along with that epic slam coming out from Cryptic there. It's going to be really all they need to take this next point. This first point, excuse me. Easy team kill right here. Good job, Mercury Cougars.
Four Bears over on that Lucio did get his beat off just barely before he was shattered, which allowed them to survive it and turn that fight around.
Yeah, that was awesome. And it sucks too, Rice. Unfortunately, he did pop that kind of a panic grab, I'd say. He's already charged back up decent to his next grab, a third of the way there. But popping that grab out early to try to save a losing fight, unfortunately, is going to cost him in the next push here.
Rushfire with an early pick off onto that Sombra. Great one.
Ooh, big slam coming out, trying to follow it up with some dragons. It does get Rice and Lamp on that one. Chesh coming out huge here, 3 picks already into the point. Oh my gosh, and the huge anti coming out on Mercury Cougars, unfortunately not going to be enough. So they're trying to get Great One out behind him. Hopefully they don't abandon the point right here. Oh, Cryptic! Prediction, 1000 IQ slamming Great One into the wall here, and it's going to be a big stall coming out from Toxic Shock. Unfortunately not enough.
Four Bears with a major boop onto that Zenyatta and Zarya there.
Oh yes, I missed that. I was watching the fight. Was that over on the side there?
Yeah,
Off the
it
map?
was right as they came out of spawn. That is a fun thing to look for as a Lucio when you're
That's awesome.
having second is the respawns coming out because most of them do run on that left side next to the water.
Good stuff. So Mercury Cougars looking strong. I've missed most of the game. Are we not seeing a 0-4 coming out from them today?
Well, Mercury Cougars is up 2-0, so it'll be interesting to see what Toxic Storm does here. It seems like Toxic Storm so far, their strength has been Orion Zarya comp, and they have struggled with the dive slightly. So Volskaya, especially second here, will be beneficial to them with their Orion Zarya comp.
Okay. Well, we've seen a lot of. I think we see a lot of Overwatch Pretenders team like that. It's almost like when they run the death ball, it kind of almost forces them to play together. When you run a dive, obviously dive, even from the very beginning, dive has required like a high level of play coming out from people. It requires, that coordination. It requires that eliminating the enemy team one at a time and putting that damage into them. So that's good. I hope that I'm guessing, judging by what I'm seeing here, looks like they've recognized that and they're playing to their strengths here. So that could be pretty good for them. But yeah, that's a big trend I'm noticing, especially this season. I'm seeing a lot more death ball. Season 0, man, it was just dive.
Was Season 0 before Brigitte?
Yeah, I think it was. It was like, I think she came out maybe towards the end of it, possibly, but definitely the whole season definitely didn't have her.
It seemed like last season, Season 1 of Pretenders would have been during Hanzo Zarya.
Yeah, I believe that was a big part of it, especially with the bigger grabs coming out from Zarya. K-Boogie and Cryptic right here, able to get both the enemy tanks down. It's going to be big. Toxic Shock picking those, or excuse me, Mercury Cougars picking those tanks. It's going to be good for them in this fight. I'm seeing some new names I'm familiarizing myself with.
You do see Xeneon coming out with the Roadhog. Now, after his recent
Ooh.
buffs, being a Roadhog main myself, he does feel really amazing. It'll be interesting to see how he utilizes him.
He's so good. That pull and that kill is so good. Great one. Good pick here right from Chesh. Beating down their Hanzo's going to be huge for them. That's most of their damage coming into this next fight. Cryptic going down as well. This is going to be a hard push.
It looks like Toxic Storm will be going over them. The late nano boost, it looks like coming in onto Dungy. He just told us how to pronounce his name, but I already forgot. That's interesting. I felt like that might have been slightly a waste, as it seemed like they had already won the fight, and it might have been a little bit of
Be right back.
The nano, yeah, a little bit, kind of. No, he's P Dungy forever. He's just like Pterodactyl.
Dungy. Okay, I
It's
didn't
like
know that.
Pterodactyl or Pedungy. There you go. That's what I say.
Great one with the early pick off onto Wombo. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Good
Toxic
solo
Storm
player right
might be
there.
able to push in quick. They do have that Somber EM with the Shatter combo. Look for that right here.
Oh, just like
The
you called it.
Shatter onto one person gets the Zarya.
Nice. There's 2 picks into the fight, 3 picks. They've already got Lamb popping out that trans. Half of Mercury Cougar's already down in this fight. Cryptic do what he can in the back line here. Fortunately, he does go down as well. But we do see 5 ults coming out from Mercury. If they can get there, unfortunately not able to get there and utilize any of those ults.
That
Man,
is
both
the
teams.
beauty. That's the beauty of EMP right there. If you look at this fight beforehand, especially in Overwatch, you see 5 ultimates versus I think 2 or 3 on the side of Toxic Storm. But Somber EMP just shuts that down entirely.
And then the team did an awesome job following it up, especially because it looks like he EMP'd a great number. The slam only unfortunately did come down on, I think it was just the Zarya.
Yeah,
Which is a good pick. I mean, you want to get that Zarya out, sure. But team did a great job following in and also securing those EMP kills before they were able to pop their ults. So yeah, good play coming out from I think that was Toxic Storm right there. This always takes me a second to get used to the colors.
Yeah, it's blue. So yeah, blue's Toxic Storm. Red is Mercury Cougars. So yeah.
Cool.
Now Toxic Storm does have a minute and a half ish longer in the time bank. However, on Volskaya, it's fairly easy to cap both points within a minute or two, like Toxic Storm did, and it's also easy to hold a very, very long time on either points.
Yeah, very true. It looks like we're going to be seeing a sort of pseudo Hanzo goats maybe coming out from Mercury Cougars right here.
On their first attack, they did run goats. It'll be interesting, and they did roll the other team pretty easily. So it'll be interesting to see if they do run goats again, or if
Yeah,
they
and it looks
just
like
stay on the Hanzo.
Yeah, Chesh was doing really good. I so far from what I've seen in the 10 seconds of watching these games, looks like Chesh is doing pretty good on Hanzo. He's getting those picks earlier that last fight. So I think especially keeping him around for that Zarya Hanzo grab combo is going to be huge in this fight. So they're pushing in hard. They're doing what Goats does best. They're going right into it. Chesh getting that early kill on P Dungy. It looks like Toxic Storm trying to hold the front line here, but unfortunately it's just too much right in their face. Forebear is able to secure that kill on Xeneon. They're coming in. Cryptic getting that kill as well. Raiden getting a few picks on the support line in the back here. Good play coming out from Banana, but unfortunately with most of his team dead, it's going to be kind of hard for him to clean up right here. Chesh and K-Boogie able to finish up the kills.
Gotta love that bloodthirsty Ana. Getting 2 kills, but sadly couldn't turn around the fight for their team.
I know she was trying. Mercury Cougars, that was a good push from them, and it looked like they have the tank line, Toxic Storm does, to really hold them, and I think they kind of like let them kind of bully them right there. I think they kind of let them split the team up. You saw them come through and split the team up, kill one up there in that little box in the corner, and then it was kind of just easy going. So hopefully they stick together.
They did lose their Rein early, which can make an easy time for that Hanzo.
Yeah. Oh, great one popping out a big EMP right here. Awesome stuff. Grab coming out too. Unfortunately, they really did not need the grab right there. I see what they might have been going for, but between Pidunji and Great One and Lamp right here getting these picks, it's going to be all they need. Mercury Cougars going to go ahead and back out of this fight. They will be coming to the next fight, though, with 5 ultimates. And we see that good grab Hanzo Dragon sitting here, so
Yeah, I think
Um,
Rice might be asking for that grab back. I
Here I
do not
am.
believe he caught anyone. Maybe one person that got killed.
Translocating.
Yeah, if there's one thing I'd say about Rice so far in this game, I like that he's getting his grabs
I might need
reasonably quick. I think maybe he needs to. There's high value in a good grab. I think Rice needs to maybe just hold on to him just a little bit more going to these fights.
all along.
It'll be interesting here to see if the Zen Transcendence can heal through that Hanzo, or they don't have an Ana, so there's very likely that Lamperouge will get a big Transcendence.
That's true, and just like you predicted, it looks like they're trying to pop out the ults right here, but that Trans is able to keep his team alive going into this fight. Both Zens, interestingly enough, popping Zen right, Trans right there. Seeing a huge slam coming out of here from Cryptic, able to get some kills along with Chesh. Wombo combo able to get that kill on Raiden. Oh, beautiful. That's really all they need right there. Chesh doing what I said best. He's coming in, he's getting picks. Great one. Looking for something, looking to maybe touch right at the end here, trying to get in the back line, but they are spy checking out the wazoo, not letting him get in there.
Xenion does have ult coming back, although they cannot touch, sadly. So Mercury
So
Cougars
close.
does cap both points. So we are looking at a 20-minute Volskaya game, everyone's favorite.
4. Switching sides.
This game better finish 9-8, or we're not doing it right.
Yeah. I mean, I think the longest I've ever gone was about like 8 or 9 points. Someone capped on Anubis. That's the beauty of 2 CP in Overwatch.
Oh, Anubis. What do you say when you roll the team rolls you, you roll the team? It's like, what is this game we're playing,
We both have bad defenses.
Nobody can defend.
So yeah, I mean, we did see Mercury Cougars on their first offense use goats, and they did on their second. So it was interesting that Toxic Storm. Maybe they thought they were going to switch off of it. They did not go to a hard goats counter such as a May. They just kind of kept the comp they were going with Roadhog, and you do see Xeneon running the Roadhog quite a bit. Although Roadhog does not do that well against goats. I think that's one of his weakest matchups is against goats.
Yeah, a May or even, honestly, a Pharmacy would have been huge right there. I mean, they have a Hanzo Zen, and Chesh is pretty decent, so you kind of have to worry about that. But typically, Pharah, always really good goats counter as well. And it is surprising that they didn't swap going in the second point. Maybe they were hoping the ults would be enough to hold them up,
1.
and then they're always getting hit by that EMP, which just shows, again, why EMP is so great in these fights.
Yeah, you do see Wombo over on that Sombra here. They have the Sombra Hanzo, which is a very good combo here.
Toxic Storm coming in here looking for something. Both teams trying to get that early Reinhardt pick in this Reinhardt fight.
A big anti going into the front line is going to lead to the downfall of Toxic Storm.
Yeah, Mercury is able to clean up some pretty good kills right there.
That should be better.
Now, note that fight did end very quickly, so the only ult coming up is Cryptic over on that Reinhardt. So look for a hack from Great One onto the enemy Reinhardt, and then a big Shatter coming through.
Yeah, which will be, that's huge. The fact that he already has that, the fact that he has it that quick too is awesome. Yeah, great one, early good pick on Chest right there. Forebears, going down in this fight though. Oh, and Rush getting down to a great one. It's going to make it very hard for them to keep up in this fight. Zenian able to get that kill on Cryptic. Lamps coming in on K Boogie.
It looks like Toxic Storm will go through there. I think the MVP of that fight actually goes over to Great One. He got that early pick onto Chesh, and then he actually hacked Cryptic on that Reinhardt, which stopped him from being able to use that Earth Shatter.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think the
Objective A
I think the hack shutdown of ults is really kind of cool in this fight.
Be right back.
And it's kind of probably what the main contributor is to the fact that this fight is going on for so long. The fact that we're already, about to be 4-4 possibly here.
Be interesting to see the grab dragon combo coming over from Mercury Cougars and that hack over onto the enemy Zenyatta so he can't just transist through it, or even the EMP thrown on top to make sure the Zenyatta does not hit his team.
Definitely. Oh, and a lot of ults coming out right here. Rice popping that grab, trying to keep him out. So,
The big EMP coming in from Great One here.
great one, yeah, huge EMP right there. That's awesome. That's gonna be really what they need to push in.
Looks like Toxic Storm pushing in. Big EMP coming from
Oh!
K Boogie, but he did not catch Lamperouge in that. So he can just transcendence his team through it.
A big anti-nade though. Rush getting that anti-nade was what they needed to get Zenian down. That was huge coming out from him. Good thinking on that Ana. Rice and Cryptic both with a couple picks right here. P Dungy trying to do what he can. Unfortunately, possibly wasting that shatter. It doesn't look like his team's gonna be able to get back up with him. And there is no time right there. So I got stopped for a second. I was so confused. So
You have the teams mixed, right?
no, did Rice just so wait? No, K Boogie popped his grab.
No, Rice popped
into-
his grab first. K Boogie.
Somebody popped their
his.
grab into the enemy team's dragon, and that just kind of confused me.
Yeah, it was one team grabbed and the other team dragon. I
Their
think
team dragon, and I was like, wait, am I seeing this right? Blue
it's
grab?
interesting if Chesh might have thought that was his Zarya grab.
Yeah, I
which is why
wonder.
he ulted.
Yeah.
The big bubble coming into Wombo combo did get hooked by the enemy Roadhog there, but the big bubble coming in keeps it alive.
And a
Now
nice
it is
pick from
just
Chess.
easy cleanup.
Chess doing awesome work here. He looks like he's getting 1 or 2 early picks usually, and that is enough to keep his team, you know, in the fight right there, keeping Toxic Shock at bay.
Now this next fight will be huge because Chesh and K Boogie do have that combo. Chesh is very close. Hanzo builds up very fast, and Lamproge is still a little bit away from that Zenyatta Transcendence. So look for K
Ooh.
Boogie and Chesh to get this combo off early. If they don't, then they might not be able to get it. Here's the early grab coming in.
Oh, unfortunately, only gets Lamp. I think he was hoping to hit one of the main tanks. Unfortunately, missing them going to the back line. Rice does get down by 4 bears. Cryptic able to get that kill on Raiden. Along with another pick coming out from Rice here. Cryptic a little far forward here from his team. But it looks like I think they're gonna win this fight. Looking at the numbers, we got a big anti right there on Zinnia, and he tried to use his self heal, unfortunately unable to do so.
I think
Alright.
that Toxic Storm is fighting these fights a little bit too long. They're losing 1 or 2 early, and they keep fighting. And it's not only wasting time, but feeding Mercury Cougars easy ultimate charge.
Yeah, and Mercury Cougars, you can tell, are definitely taking advantage of that. Wombo already showed us a few times, you know, the team's trying to get ready at the front door, and he's going in there and he's kind of doing early hacks just to kind of mess with them and kind of just to
EMP
buy that
shatter.
extra time.
You have the EMP Shatter combo right here.
Here
Although
we
they do
go.
not shatter, they do dragon into it. However,
do
Lamproge
dragon.
with the big Zenyatta Transcendence here.
Nice, yeah, that's good. Oh dang, Cryptic slamming all the way up to right next to their spawn. That's huge right there. Unfortunately, getting down, put to sleep. Get a little aggressive, Mercury Cougars right here, but it looks like they haven't had a man down yet. So I mean, if it works, you know, why change it?
Now they do have the grab, EMP, and shatter over on the side of Toxic Storm. That grab,
Ooh.
EMP, you could even throw in all of those since it is just 1 point you need to cap. However, Chesh does get that early kill on Lamproge. It will slow the progress of Toxic Storm here.
Yeah, they're probably gonna wait for that 6th member before they do push this point.
Fire Mercury Cougars, I'd play a little aggressive right now. The other team is missing a healer. However, oh, it looks like Lamproge does switch over to the Moira to provide a little bit more abundant heals. However, there will be no defensive ult on the side of Toxic Storm.
Yeah, and we got Zinnian over here. He swapped from Hog to Diva a minute ago, so I'm interested to see what he can do with this on the Diva pick.
Early Dragons goes through, and the big
Oh.
EMP and
Big
Sombra
EMP.
ult.
That's
Looks like
awesome. That's a
Toxic
few.
Storm really pushing this. Chess is trying to run away. He is getting healed up by his Ana.
Yeah, really good pusher from Toxic Storm. They're able to get these picks they need. Great one going up top, trying to finish off this kill on this Ana. They did switch to the Lucio. 4 Bear switching to the Lucio, try to get his team back into the fight quicker, and I think it is going to be enough to get them there. Maybe buying some time. I think they're just trying to look for that overtime right now, see if they can get it. P Dungy able to slam Cryptic. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. We're going to see a huge grab coming out from Toxic Storm here. Or
Lamproge with the Transcendence in the back. Sorry, a lot of visual effects going on right now. But it looks like Toxic Storm will clean this up. It is important if they get this in overtime or not. They got it before the overtime.
right
That
before
will-
overtime, perfect.
That will give them a chance to attack, if I am not mistaken.
And I misspoke. Huge grab from Mercury Cougars. I said Toxic
Yeah.
Storm.
to 4.
It gets, when all those light effects go, it gets pretty hectic.
Initiating match.
I'm in love with you. I rolled out of bed from a super big nap and came downstairs and started casting this.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, we kind of suspected you were asleep.
I never make Saturday commitments because I know that I'm never going to be able to probably make them.
But hey, we're here now. I struggled through the first map.
Ready.
Dante
I'm
did
sure.
step in on the second map because he saw I was struggling, so shout out to him for being great there. But yeah, it looks like everything is going good now.
You sound good, man. I think you probably did a good job.
Attackers incoming in.
It's a little
30
hard
Alright.
being solo. It feels kind of it's hard. You can't have anyone to, like, talk to or anything, bounce things off of.
That's fair.
But yeah,
Just gotta be a
so-
streamer. You get used to talking to
Yeah.
yourself all the time.
Dude, I do stream sometimes, but normally I'm like playing with friends.
Oh, there you go.
There's not
Oh,
there.
well, not our streamer, but
Yeah.
Leon coming
But
in with
yeah.
that clutch thunderclap of sound every time he unmutes his mic. I love him.
4, 3, 2,
Alright,
We're
so
hearing the thunder, folks. It means the game must be starting.
alright, so we are seeing Go Goat's forehead coming out from Toxic Storm. They
Keep it
are
on
running-
that. Keep it on that Sombra though. They know Sombra's working in this fight. Both teams not ready to get rid of their Sombra just yet.
Now I do think the thing they are missing though is that Lucio, which does give them a lot of pushing power with that goat. So it'll
Definitely.
be interesting to see what happens here. Punji getting picked off pretty early. However, all of Mercury Cougars as well.
Yeah, Cheshire will get that pick as well on Lamp. It's gonna be enough to keep him back.
We already look over at Rush Player, almost has his Nano, Cryptic, and K Boogie already close to their ultimates. And with that late pick onto Raiden, I don't think Toxic Storm has the power to even get in on this point.
Yeah, Toxic Storm need a Lucio in place of this Sombra right here. Unfortunately, that first fight we see Sombra, she can't really get in and do a whole lot, which isn't anything against the Sombra, but it's gonna make it very hard for her to, you know, to really contribute to her team. So she looks like she's gonna try to back up here, maybe get a little bit of time for them. Great win on the point while they pop a huge grab dragon. Chesh, wonderful teamwork there with K Boogie, able to get those kills, and unfortunately, Great Win does go down. I agree with you 100%, chat. They needed a Lucio right there.
Yeah, they did. Also, by the way, to the people watching stream, when he says chat, he's talking to me, not to Twitch chat.
Oh, I don't talk to you, chat. I'm not even got chat up, all right? So.
But yeah, that confuses people all the time. But yeah, I think that Lucio on the side of defense isn't necessarily as important. I think it can be useful if the other team is running Lucio. Because the other team wasn't, they didn't need it, and they were able just to play around their Zarya and build up that grab dragon very quickly. I mean, in a minute, that's a very quick combo to pull off.
Right.
But I think the biggest problem there is that on the side of Toxic Storm not having that Lucio, they kind of just had to sit there and take the beating. And they didn't have a Brig either. Those two I think are very core to Goats, the Brig or the Lucio. I think if you're missing both of them, you kind of miss out on Goats because you don't have that pushing power that you would have in a normal Goats composition. So they kind of just had to sit there and take the beating and had no way of pushing into Mercury Cougars themselves. So we could be seeing they could get a 3-minute hold here. However, it will be pretty tough.
I agree 100%. A big thing there. You've got Ryan versus Ryan. You got a shield war. I think their play with a Sombra was, hey, we'll try to hack maybe the enemy Ryan. Maybe try to, you know, get him to not have a shield then. But and now that you said Brig, I actually almost want to say Brig instead of Lucio. You maybe for that stun effect going in and that extra healing when they're in the fight. Lucio obviously does a great job too, able to just speed them right through the shield. But yeah.
And with Chesh over on that Hanzo, Mercury Cougars wins that shield break war 10 times out of 10. They are running the same comp pushing, and except for they do have that Lucio and Brig, so they can just smash into the enemy team like they're doing now.
Like right when Zinnian getting a good couple picks right here, unfortunately. Losing 2 support is going to be a little hard for this first fight.
The big anti-nade coming out from Raiden there, I don't know if you saw it, but their entire team was antied, and that just shuts down Goats entirely because Goats is built around just playing together, having a ridiculous amount of healing and slamming into the team. But if you get antied, there's not much you can do. And that's what they're missing out when they don't have a D.Va, they have a Hanzo instead. They can't use that.
Nice. Rushberry, look at that kill on Lampert right here. Mercury Cougars looking for another pick in this fight. Toxic Storm trying to stay up. K Boogie able to get that pick on Rice though. Chesh gets a pick as well, and we might just start to see the dominoes falling. Rush popping that trans just in case. They pop a graph up top. They said, hey, who needs these ults? We just won the freaking game just now. Awesome. Mercury Cougars, man. Taking it home. And you know, it's so hard now to like play into that, because if you're running your kind of goats, they're running their kind of goats. It's like they've got 3 minutes on the clock. All they need to do is do grab dragon.
Yeah, I think that's a thing that people always look for is when you have a lot of time like that and you only need to get one tick or 1 point, you just look for that big combo, and they didn't even need that combo. They were able to just rush through the team. I think important thing out from Toxic Storm was that Mercury Cougars ran Goats, I think, pretty much every point. I don't think or a variation, they would run, you know, the Hanzo or the Sombra, but pretty much a triple tank comp or like a tank heavy comp. And there was no sort of counter pick coming out from Toxic Storm. There was no Meta counter, there was no Junkrat, there was no Doomfist even to try to shut that down. And I think that looking back, they will notice that and maybe want to play it again. Hope they had another chance.
Yeah, I agree. And I used to be a Roadhog. I used to play Roadhog a ton too. He's my first golden gun on PC. I loved Roadhog. I feel like there's a time and a place. Roadhog is better as a hero, but that does not mean he can just be applied against any meta. And I think I'm not crazy about him in goats, in traditional goats. If people want to try to pull out a quad tank and just get those those 4 bodies on top of the enemy team, with that Moira Lucio again, like they did back in the day. I'd like to see how that plays out. But as far as a third tank in your GOATS lineup, there's too much utility with D.Va and Zarya. I feel like to exclude either one of them, between Zarya bubbles and Gravs, and between the most broken thing in the game, D.Va's defense matrix. It's hard to eliminate one of them for the fact that you have a guy who can take a lot of damage and get those easy hook kills. As
Yeah,
much as again, love Ryan, but or
yeah.
I love Roadhog, but
I think also problem is that Roadhog likes to he takes advantage of people who are out of position, especially now with the changes to his hook. He punishes them very hard, which I think is a great thing in the game. It kind of, if you don't want to get killed by Roadhog, just play more with your team. And the thing with Goats is that it's pretty simple to play with the team. You all just kind of stay together and run in this big comp, and there's so many barriers that
yes.
it's pretty impossible. I would say it's definitely plausible, but very hard for Roadhog to really get any sort of value. And I agree with what you said with the D.Va and the Zarya. Just Zarya bubbles being able to eat up so much damage and turn that into more damage going against the other team. And also the usage of D.Va's defense matrix, I think, is probably one of the strongest abilities in the game. Just the amount the defense matrix can do. I think it's just too important to switch Roadhog out with either of those two.
Exactly. I mean, look, chat, and by chat I mean, of course, you chat. I feel like I should just call you Chad at this point and make it easier. But
You can go
it's
with,
like
yeah.
as far as broken abilities go, it goes like this: Brig, Shield, Bash, and then D.Va's defense matrix. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, if we really wanted to, we could throw Doomfist up there just like as a whole hero. But we'll just pretend that the character made out of broken abilities doesn't count, and we'll
Yeah.
just go with those two. So.
Did you see the recent nerfs they announced towards Brigida?
I did. I don't care at all about the damage thing. I don't think it's gonna make a big deal. Except I am excited to get back into Tracer a little bit because I know I won't get one shot comboed. But the fact that she can't stun through shields, the fact that she can't just walk up to Orion and just bully him is amazing. Now
Yeah, I think it's
I'm still
important.
nervous. I'm still nervous of the Brig who's able to just kind of jump past Orion and shield bash the back of him because Ryan moves a little slower with his shield up, but.
Yeah.
The fact that it's going to take a lot more skill. I like that they're kind of giving her a little bit more of a skill arch there.
Yeah, I think the biggest it's something I've noticed about the community, like Overwatch community. You've seen the delete break, right? That Cavalry started.
The
Um,
what? I'm sorry.
so Cavalry, do you know who he is? It's like a one-trick Genji who is in top 500. He started off this big campaign called Delete Brig, where he's getting a bunch of
Oh.
people to change their names to Delete Brig and whatever. I
Mhm.
think that I think like Brig right now honestly isn't that overpowered. I think compared to like maybe post rework Mercy,
Welcome
she's
to
kind of like
Jungle.
nothing. That was awful. I think the reason people hate her so much, I think, is her stun abilities and the fact that like you feel kind of useless at going against her. And I think with the new nerf, the shield bash damage, I think it'll make that a little bit better because I think she was utilized too heavily as like a DPS. I think she just dealt too much damage for being a support and for being like she's supposed to be a support tank hybrid, but it felt like
Mhm.
she was a support tank DPS hybrid. But now I feel like with that change, that's 45 damage drop off on like a big combo she can do. It shuts down a lot of her combos and ability to get kills. I think that she moves more into
Ready
a
for
support
battle.
tank hybrid that the developers wanted her to be in. And I think that she's still definitely viable, and it'll be a slightly less frustrating to play against, but still pretty frustrating.
Yeah, I mean that Inspire is not something to ignore. That constant healing she does, the fact that they buff that, it's gonna be really nice. So I agree with you 100%. She is definitely more support tank. She's definitely less of a I have a break in my face and I just lost 200 health or whatever.
Yeah, I think that this makes her more versatile as a healer because before looking at higher levels, even in our league, you don't necessarily see Brig as a second healer. As I say that, it looks like Mercury Cougars is running Briggs as a second healer, but now she can do it, which makes it more viable. You are looking at the Bastion comp coming out from the defense. Usually you see that from the offense, not from the defense. And they are setting up on the low ground, so that'll be interesting to watch.
Yeah, that is interesting. And Orisa Bastion on defense is definitely an interesting comp here. We'll see if Mercury Cougars is able to just kind of walk on top of it. Wombo trying to get set up behind. Looks like they're trying to hack, and they do. They hack that Bastion, so Rice getting hacked, making that call out to his team. You see them immediately rushing in afterwards. Rice is able to get that kill on Wombo, though. If his hack runs out, which it has, he is able to step back up his Bastion. It's going to make it a little bit hard going into this next point here. Pushing into this choke with his Bastion set up in front. Rice getting that kill on Chesh as well. Probably going to see a back out from Mercury Cougars right here as they're already down two mates. 3 mates.
One thing we are sleeping on is AT over on that Symmetra. I think that is the first Symmetra I've seen of Pretenders. I don't know about you. I didn't even notice that, and that is huge because it gives the Bastion mobility where he normally doesn't have it. As I say that, he does get killed. But it's the caster curse. The 2 times I've said something, it's the caster curse.
That's fair.
But yeah, they are missing out mobility now, but the Symmetra with the Bastion is actually a really good combo.
So interesting strat here. It looks like they're setting up like a reverse pirate ship, which is kind of funny considering that this pirate ship is slowly getting closer to the bridge. And I'm just kind of hoping they know when to back off of this thing and not try to ride it all the way up to spawn door. Unless they keep getting kills. Unless Rice kills everybody, then, you know, push it all the way into their base. Who cares?
And they do have AT back now. That's interesting, the reverse pirate ship, because it is getting closer and closer to their spawn. And even right now, as they're approaching that bridge, it does not really give a favorable position. And he does hop off of it as soon as I say that. Caster curse again.
He knows. Because you don't want to be there. You don't want to let the enemy team just jump down on top of you. So, ooh, huge big shield. Bastion with all the room in the world using the shield right here. Unfortunately, he does get... Oh! Rice, his entire team is pouring all the resources into him. Rice doing what he can here. He's using that nanoed Bastion ult, trying to get that kill on Wombo. Unfortunately, unable to get him. Getting 2 picks, though, beforehand. Oh, my goodness. That's a dedication to your Bastion in the comp like that.
I think that's important with Bastion comps. You really have to pocket that Bastion to hell and back for him to do anything. Honestly, he's a very vulnerable target, and I think that you do need that pocketing. However, he does switch over to Pharah now.
Yeah, really good pick coming out from him, Chesh, and Rush. Really the only things that can probably shoot him out of the sky easy right here.
They do get first. It looks like they might be setting up just for an early defense on second here. They do not have that Mercy pocket for Rice, so you could see Rush and Chesh do a lot of damage. And Wombo swapping over to the Widowmaker now, this caster
Ooh.
thing. Every time I say something, they swap it up.
The power, you didn't know you had it. All right, interesting kind of position coming out from Zinian right here, hiding behind the enemy team. Looks like he's just trying to maybe get somebody out of the back line. Playing a little bit away from his team here. P-Dungy trying to find a good spot up front here. Unfortunately, running on that Orisa, it is going to be kind of hard to really stand your ground. It's looking like they managed to do so, though. 8 and Chesh both getting each other down in this fight. Wombo able to secure that kill on Zinian, though, and Rice. Looks like Wombo's going to be a big part of the push right here.
They do throw out that auto ult, surprisingly, in a 3v4.
Oh. Yep, and unfortunately, I think they really hope P-Dungy be able to get it right there, and unfortunately, it was not enough. He does go down. Rush getting that kill on Raiden as well. Good big picks coming out from Wombo right here, though. I think he really helped give his team what they needed to push through this fight. Always great to see Wombo over here on the Widowmaker. So
back on Nubani, I know you weren't there for that, but his Widowmaker was carrying Mercury Cougars on their defense. He kept getting pick off after pick off at the beginning of every fight.
Oh, I believe it. Wombo has done really good in his time in this league on Widowmaker. He's been one of our strong Widowmakers. So, and then having Chesh right next to him, getting all the picks that he isn't getting, that's amazing. These two DPS together, it's gonna be big.
They're double snipers, scary.
Yeah, 8 getting that kill on Chesh. Unfortunately, we do see the grab come out, but we're not able to secure any kills with it. That doesn't matter to Wombo, though. He said, I'm still going to kill as much of these teams as I can. Going through the back line, Wombo getting a couple picks before he does fall. Before Bear's helping to clean up right there. It's going to be what they need to really push this cart forward.
I think Wombo's Widowmaker is the MVP of this entire series.
And he said, you know what? You can't label me. I'm switching to Doomfist. Another switch coming out from Wombo.
I'm just going to shut up about what people are playing.
Not going to accept these labels. K-Boogie pushing the cart by himself, kind of doing what he can. He's maybe hoping to use these bubbles to get back here. I think he might have been a little overcommitted. He is able to safely get back to his team, though. This is going to be big for them.
They do have 4 ults here. Watch out for the shatter right here. Gets 3 down.
Nice. And ults, baby. We're seeing the
Welcome
ults
to
come out here.
Overwatch.
P Dungy getting that
gets the
charge
kill
kill
on
on 4 bears. 8 able to get that kill as well on Chesh, but Wombo and K Boogie getting a few picks of their own, popping their own transcendence. They said, we're down a few men, but you know what? Well, we can make this work. Oh, a huge slam coming out, though. It is able to get rushed. We're seeing that Dragon Blade coming out from Rice.
That was a little bit of a questionable. There were only 2 remaining, although I guess you'd rather win the fight than leave it up to chance. However, that does leave Toxic Storm with no ultimates up.
Here's the thing. All right, Rice, you gotta save your ults, man. Ult economy, brother. I gotta call it out after seeing his Zarya grabs and then seeing that.
Yeah, that was a little bit questionable, and they are halfway to that nano, so they could have waited for a nano blade. Here is K Boogie with another grab, and no defensive ult from Lamperouge. Look for
Ooh, yeah,
Xenion.
this could be
see if he
big.
can beat this here.
Or they might be saving for that Wombo, maybe that Space Jam. We'll have to see. Cryptic able to get that first kill on 8. That's gonna be huge, getting them into this fight right here. Chesh able to get that kill on Rice. Chesh over on the McGree. I didn't even notice. Already getting picks. Rush able to get that kill on P Dungy. This is gonna be huge. Wombo combo just getting that diva out of the fight like it's nothing. Chesh killing Raiden. Oh my gosh.
does have his ultimate up, so look for him to get some sort of stall. However, you can't get
Oh.
point when you're up.
Oh. He tries it.
Dungy
Yeah.
with the Hammond here. Get a
The
lot
Hammond.
of
It's gonna be
stall.
stall.
Although he looks like he's gonna be one more time with that one.
He didn't
They
get
do nano
slammed.
him.
Why did he get charged? How did he not get charged? All right, well, he's nanoed. He needs to start doing something. He needs to get out of that ball and start shooting while he's nanoed.
They're just doing
It
it for
just-
survivability right now. Xenion does use his bomb. Doesn't look like any ults on the side of Toxic Storm. Mercury Cougars has Shatter, which they use and clean up. It looks like Mercury Cougars eventually will get this one.
Yeah, they've got Rice and P Dungy left trying to do some stuff here, but all it's gonna take is a good stun on P Dungy. There you go. They knocked him off. Doomfist knocks him off. Wombo. They do get that cart. Good stall trying to come out here, but you know, Mercury Cougars, almost everybody on fire.
Score
Doing good work here.
0-3.
I think honestly, I hate to say it, but I think if Rice has his nano or has his blade there, I think that fight is slightly different. Now he doesn't have the nano, so he can't get necessarily a 5-man, but even a kill onto the enemy supports or even one kill can turn the tide of the fight.
Yes. Oh, definitely. And you know, and I say this about Rice. Rice doing a great job. Obviously, he's getting these
Yeah.
ults. He's doing good work in the fight. I'm not saying, oh, Rice is bad. I'm saying, hey, Rice, you know, you would be even way better if you maybe you know, held off a little bit. Maybe take Q off your keyboard and put it a little bit higher up so you have to really reach for it.
Yeah, and that can also be telling of the team comms and how that works out, because obviously there's a difference between this environment and just like a competitive ladder environment where someone
True.
has less coordination. That can also be telling of their comms. Maybe they're a little bit hectic, like suggesting that they didn't like coordinate if they were going to use that ult or not.
Oh,
However,
definitely.
not really any way we can tell that one.
And even on top of that, a lot of times if you you know, if you have him or if you have somebody else in the fight, a lot of times I know playing characters like Zarya, Genji, a lot of times you're getting told, hey, like by the Ana, hey, when you have your blade, let me know. And I'm almost at nano or something like that. A lot of times my teammates do a good job of reminding me. And so I agree with you saying, yeah, the comps could be a little, they're trying to feel it out a little bit right here. So
Yeah, and Nano does build up pretty fast, so it would have been interesting if he would have saved that. They could have had the Nano blade. But we do see a Wrecking Ball coming out from Raiden early on. Big swing off of that top, and he's probably get a big slam right here.
I love it. I love the Wrecking Ball. One of my personal favorite heroes. Excited to see what he does with it here.
Punji, the main tank. Wait, they're switched up their entire roles. Lamperouge, the support, and Raiden, the support, playing tank. Punji on DPS, Xenon on DPS, AT and Rice, the DPS on support here. And it looks like the fight's pretty even so far.
Yeah, looking pretty good. Chesh and Rush, they're able to get these first 2 picks. Big anti coming out. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. P Dungy getting that kill on 4 Bears.
You can look for Toxic Storm to get a quick regroup here, because 4 Bears is just now respawning. It'll take him at least 10 or 15 more seconds just to get there. However, the late pick onto 80 from Wombo Combo's Widow is gonna make it so they can't push in. I don't want to say Wombo's Widow is doing a lot right now because I feel like he's gonna switch off, but Wombo's Widow is doing a lot right now.
He just jumps off the map and swaps after hearing that. All right,
We
Raiden
didn't
right
do-
here in the back line trying to disrupt the fight as much as he can. Lamp and K Boogie, we're seeing some good picks coming out right here. Forebear's getting that kill on 80. That's going to be really big going into this fight. Toxic Storm doing a pretty good job of shutting, or
Rice gets the kill on the support, and he's going in on Rushpert now. It'll be interesting to see if he can get the supports. Now, again, Forebears did die in that fight. If none of them get picked off by Wombo Combo's Widow, then there is a chance they could push in with an advantage, because Forebears did just respawn. He is still walking out. Also, can we take a minute to recognize the fact that Raiden is all the way in the back line? He's spawn camping. He's spawn camping Wombo. Or, sorry, Forebears.
oh wow.
Raiden with
That's
the spawn
awesome.
camp out of Forebears, so where AT did get picked off, and they are turning around now to focus them.
Oh my goodness.
However,
yeah, Raiden beat
Xenion-
Bungie big.
Okay, it seems Toxic Storm has abandoned trying to win the game, and they're only trying to spawn Forebears. Rush here.
It's,
Now, see, Lambert, this isn't a fight on the cart anymore. This is a fight for pride.
is this,
Raiden
are we
with the
seeing,
ult on K-Boogie. K-Boogie does get killed.
is
and
the
you were
plan get everybody to run back to spawn door and then push the cart? Is this actually like a strategy we're seeing right here?
It's viable. Look who's on cart right now. On cart
We
is
got-
the Diva.
It's just
and
Chesh.
It's just Chesh against it. That is a valid strat, apparently.
Apparently.
Force the other team back to their spawn and you win the cart.
This is, okay, this is, there we go. Rice coming out with that,
ult,
oh my goodness.
dash. See if he can get the Chesh without dying here.
Oh,
before he dies.
Chesh though able to get both of those nuke kills. That's gonna be huge. Rush coming back here. I have to say, if it wasn't for that nuke, I really want to think that the craziest thing I've ever seen might have paid off.
That
What
would
a-
have been probably one of the greatest things ever. K-Boogie with the late pick off on to Dungeon.
I want to hear the comms. After just talking about the comms, I want to hear the comms. Were the comms, hey, let's do this, or were the
I-
comms like, I'm in the back line. Okay, I'll go in the back line too. Like,
You know, I will contact their coach and ask for the VOD of that 10 seconds, see what they're talking about.
yeah, I want to hear that. That'll be good.
K-Boogie uses his Lamproos with the time ult.
Ooh, yeah, we're seeing that big damage boost coming out here. It's got a good line of sight on everybody on the team. Wombo and Rush getting a good few picks right here. 80 just able to get that kill on Wombo. Rice up in the sky here. Looks like he's trying to get something. Gets the damage buff down. Unfortunately, he does get down though to Wombo's turret. Have to look out for that. It's looking like Mercury Cougars is gonna hold it right here. Unfortunately, Toxic Storm not really able to stack back up. They have 9 seconds left on the clock. Raiden and Xenion, looks like they're just going for stall right here.
Bungie with the big pulse bomb onto Cryptic, but he just gets healed through it.
Yeah, that's the downside with sticking a Orisa with that halt right there.
It looks like they will just be trickling in, and it looks like Mercury Cougars will 4-0 Toxic
Oh,
Storm in
beautiful.
probably one of the funniest final maps I have ever seen. I will definitely see if their coach has a VOD, including their comms on the last one.
Great
Because
strat, team.
I'd
That was-
add that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Now, play the game comes in from K-Boogie on that new Roadhog. It'll be interesting to see what occurred here.
Awesome stuff. Well, hey, I'm just glad to see Mercury Cougars taking home I think this is their first match win of the season, unless I missed one.
I believe they actually, yeah, you might be right. They played Alpine Wolves and Lightbringers, who are both very strong teams. It was good to see them get that win. So yeah, I mean, all around really good games. I'm watching the stream right now, the part where Raiden and the other team is just back spawn camping. That was because early on you see who was it, Raiden over on that wrecking ball, Hammond going in onto Forebears, who was on the Ana. He spawn kills her, and then suddenly you look back and you have Rice, Xenion, Lamprey, and Raiden all in the backline spawn camping both of the supports from Mercury Cougars, and it almost paid off. Rice got a big 3-man Dragon Blade, but Chesh answered back with a big Diva Bomb of his own.
Yeah, that was awesome to see there. And I'm checking the standings right now. It's crazy to think. I have a few personal friends on Mercury Cougars, that's why I kept up with them. Toxic Storm though, before going into this game, 8-0. actually the only one between either group that was currently 8-0. And Mercury Cougars the only team that was currently 0-8. We just had it like basically NYXL or, you know, Seoul Dynasty versus Shanghai, and Shanghai won 4-0. So kind of an upset there. I'm wondering what I have to wonder what occurs where the undefeated team and the no-win team managed to just kind of, you know, reverse their roles right there.
Yeah, I think overall Mercury Cougars just seemed a little bit more coordinated and prepared. I don't think Toxic Storm maybe had experience against goats in the previous matches because they didn't seem um, like they wanted to swap off the entire Volskaya map, for example.
Mhm.
They did not swap off to counter that goats like the entire time.
Yeah, exactly. I think maybe we're looking at a situation where maybe Toxic Storm is a bunch of like mechanically good and individually good players, and maybe they're just currently working on their comms, working on these call outs. Maybe somebody needed to call, you know, like we already talked about comms once. Maybe, you know, hey, we need to swap something. We need to make something work differently. I think they might have been coasting on their skill, and maybe they now going forward, the coach will work with them on kind of sharpening up the team comms there. But shout out to Cougars, man. I'm glad to see a teams that's you know got a win under the belt, of course. So.
Yeah, and you know, just real quick before we wrap up, well, we are talking about standings here. I'm gonna pull it up for a second. Like, what teams are you looking at for the rest of the season? We are. I'm pretty sure this is the last day of week 3. We are going to week 4, which can be scheduled next week or the week after because it is Thanksgiving. But what teams are you looking at right now? And these haven't been updated. I think Group 2s were updated, some of them, but not all the team scores have been updated.
When you say looking at, you mean like looking at for like
For like playoffs, or for like what teams do you think are like kind of playing really well at the top of their game, anything like that?
I know watching some of the games personally, I like I watched a lot of I've only really casted Group 2 up to this point. This is my first time I think looking at a Group 1 game this season. So as far as Group 2 is concerned, I love seeing both Nova and Night Ops playing. I like Nova because of their strats, the way they're playing. Um, they're I always I always talk about on stream when I cast them. I like the way that they use different team comps. They use off meta heroes. They do kind of an interesting style.
Well,
Um,
thank you from me and the rest of the Nova team because I am a Nova player.
yeah, well there you go. And I like seeing it. You know, I one of the most about the only team I think I ever see that doesn't use Mei as a strictly stall hero is Nova. I like seeing the Mei come out. I feel like feel like I might have seen them early on using a bit of like Doomfist. I feel like maybe they kind of caught on to stuff ahead. So I always like watching a Nova game. I hope Nova does well. Night Ops doing good, and I like seeing Night Ops. I was formerly on the team. I think they're doing good right now. Last thing I would probably say is Action News team. They're coming through pretty strong as well. They're a fairly new team, and I remember watching their first game as a new team. I think they ended up getting a pretty good loss, but that's just on paper. They did a really good job holding back the team. I think they were against somebody who was seasoned. It might have been, I don't know if it was
They
Nova.
were going against us, yeah, for the first game of the season. That was a very close series. It
Yeah.
was 3-1, but the last map came down to one fight. And honestly, a lucky nano I got onto Ronin, which kind of won us the last fight. I barely got it off. It was pretty lucky, but it was a very, very close series.
So I'm excited for them. Brand new
Yeah.
team, learning how to work together, doing a good job. They had their cool trailer, so I feel like there's a good camaraderie going on there where they're coming out with these projects and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to
Yeah.
see them. I'm
Group
kind of
2
that's
is
kind of who I'm looking at probably.
Yeah, the Group 2 is pretty interesting because there is 3 teams tied at 7 and 5. But I think what I'm looking at is Toxic Storm. I mean, a lot of people were sleeping on him going into the season, but they 8-0'd. Obviously, this game didn't turn out as well, but I don't think that was a part of them. I think that was just a kind of random thing. And also Alpine Wolves, they are one of the new teams in the league, and they have been doing very well. They are playing currently, so interesting to see how they do in this game. But they're playing against Lightbringers, but I think Alpine Wolves is one to definitely watch out for.
Awesome, man. Sounds good. I'll be looking out for that. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so I think that's it for us. Thank you guys for stopping by. Make sure you're in the Discord and keep an eye out for the rest of our streams. Anything you want to say, Guff?
I want to say happy Thanksgiving to all of you out there on Thursday. If we don't see you again before then, I know this next week is going to be kind of weird. So if I don't cast and talk to you guys before then, have a happy Thanksgiving. Stay safe these holidays. If you're going out for Black Friday, you know, watch out. And besides that, yeah, that's all I got, chat.
Yeah, that's it. Have a great day, guys. Have a great night. See ya.
See you guys.